Episode 2, Starter Base. The factory must grow. With reasonable power, mining, and smelting in hand, it is now time to automate construction of the items that will be used in the science base, that is, the base that will be responsible for generating the pre-space research, after this starter base is finished with all the interesting automation and logistics research. Initially, we will need miners, assemblers, inserters, belts, splitters, undergrounds. Later, this base will be supporting construction of additional items needed in quantity. It will grow as needed. So, since the last video, I let the base run, and I let Handy Hands run, and I filled out the remainder of the smelting array. I did not let Handy Hands build up enough miners for me to go back and lay down all the mines. Because that's what the next base is for, is producing things like that. I did fill up most of the coal. Let's finish that up. Okay, so I have filled out the coal mining area, and I did all the belts. At the top of the smelters and at the bottom, I have placed some loaders. These are real loaders, not the mini loaders, not the chutes. These are the vanilla loaders, which run at yellow belt speed. And I'm using them for two things. Here, I'm using them to recycle. So for instance, if I have extra coal, I can put it in here, and it will be introduced back into the system on a priority basis for use in smelting. There's a similar, well, no, there's not. I was thinking about putting a similar thing in here, but it's probably best if I just keep an eye on my power. If I automatically inject coal here, what happens is we don't run out of power until we have no margin left. So perhaps it would be good to divert for just a second here and set up a quick margin thingy. I want to do something I can turn on and off. Let's limit it to one line. So normally this will fill, but what I want to do is not have this go anywhere. I don't have logistics, so I will reverse this. So in order to enable the safety limit, I just need to reverse this guy and let him go. This will take input priority from the right, and it will send coal to the right. That way, if anything else gets in this box, it will be dropped out here. So that will provide me with my safety fuel source. If we run out of power, I can dip down here and reverse this loader and get the power going again, and then work out why things weren't working. Down here, this needs to be prioritized down like that, just to make sure that we know at each local area. I can look at this local area and know what's going on. So, onward to our next goal. Our goal here is to get the starter base going and have it generating the items that I need for this next setup. So, we are going to need green chips. Let's start with those. Green chips are always fun. Now, in this case, I am going to just, we're going to have two lines come through here. We'll find out in a moment which one of them is going to be my output line. Because the other half of this is I need those. So this guy, if we look at its inputs and outputs in terms of basic inserters, we can see that it needs twice as much input as output. So my iron needs to come from here. And that puts our output on the bottom. That works great because now our yellow inserters all face up and our red inserters face down. Oh, I mentioned the recycling. I took the recycling here as well. If I have excess plates, I can put them in this box, and they will be sent out and around, and they will have input priority. Likewise, I can take the inputs, and I can send a fair share of them into this box, which is limited. I'm going to pick up some. Ditto here. Excess copper can go in here, and I can always pick up from there. Now, I know from prior builds that eventually I'm going to need to get these two lines and this output line and stone and brick and steel all gathered together so they can make kind of a microbus, but we'll see about that. So power, I think I can put it just like that. Now, obviously, I'm going to need more than just this. I think I need a dozen machines to make each one of those. So I'm going to take this much and double it there. It's been my experience that more than that, and I cannot actually get materials in and outputs out. I'm not sure where the math is. It's somewhere in that range, but this should be enough. Okay, so I mentioned that we had some things that we really wanted to automate early on. That's going to be belts, and there's going to be pipes as well. So I'm going to get an early automation of belts in here, and early automation of pipes in here. Pipes we won't need yet, so I'll just reserve these machines for now. But belts we need immediately. So in terms of basic inserters, everything is more than one. So for the pipes, the reservation looks something like this. So this actually needs 6 inserters worth of iron going in. Not happening. These guys need 1.2, so these are good. And I guess I will go ahead and set these up for 1 stack. Handy Hands right now is configured to produce 1/5 of a stack of everything. So I need to make sure to continue to come back and refill my iron stocks and my copper stocks. With plenty of stocks and plenty of belts, Handy Hat should be able to keep up with the undergrounds and splitters, maybe even the loaders. Not sure why it decided to put that power pole where it did. There. We'll fill out the rest of this as needed. So our two important things that we need to set up immediately. I'm going to start here. Are going to be the smelting machines and the electric mining drills. These both have similar looking inputs and similar looking outputs. Initially one stack, so I can continue to build. These will expand later. But these are the critical things we need right now. The next step is going to be the belt array. It looks something like this. So it's going to be belts, undergrounds, belts, and merges. And in this case, what do I need? I need plates and gears, plates and belts, plates, belts, and circuits. I'm not going to automate loaders. I will be making loaders with handy hands or manually as I need them. They are rare. We'll be using mini loaders in the largest base. So if we bring up iron here, we'll bring up the gears and the ranges there. Let's say this is here-ish. There. Now the power needs to look something like this. So there we go. There's all set up. And I need to space it by one. Well, let's see. If I space it out to there, that gives me a nice power pole. Let's do that. Now, I would use a separate machine for producing these for my output. Like this. Because I need more of them. Like that. Undergrounds and splitters. And this guy. These are going to be set to one each. Yeah, as I get things built out, I will retire the belt machine on the far right in favor of using this one. Until then, this will be one stack each. Okay, so inputs. I have no idea what the relative quantities are. Because this is a centralized slow build, we're not building to ratio or anything. It may simply be that one insert of reach is good, and this may be overkill. Let's take a look. Yeah, if I need two outputs. There we go. I'm going to give us a second input here. So these potentially can eat tremendous amounts of resources if I feed them. I'm not going to feed them. So I'm going to do a similar layout. Okay, so this would be perfect for the power poles, which is not what I want. I'm going to lay out there and set there. So we're spanning wide. Now this is a different set of recipes. This is inserters and long-handled inserters and inserters, and this will be fast inserters, but we don't know that. We don't know how to build those yet. In the long term, I will be using many more fast inserters than yellow inserters, but for now we'll do it this way. I may rework this stack in the future. There we go. There's our belt array and our inserter array. And if we have sufficient resources here, so 37 assembly machines, yeah. Let's do all of these. How are we doing for inserters? Probably limited by inserters at this point. Yeah, we're limited by inserters. But we're getting those. Slowly, we're getting them. Super slowly, but we're getting them. So the way these are set, these are actually going to take from that line just as fast as I can. This is intentional. I want these to be built at very high priority until we have their stock set. We're going to hand build a whole bunch of inserters. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just drop down all of this. Total overkill, but we do it now, we won't have to come back later. If this array were to eat up all of our incoming copper and iron, I would be totally okay with that, because that would mean then that downstream, if you pull gears or electronic circuits, then we will throttle by reducing the number of plates. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and limit this down to 3 stacks each. Now it appears that with everything set up like this, we are indeed eating all of our iron. That's good. Down here, we're going to be limited. These guys could use 1.2 inserters input, 2.4 output, so I'm going to double up on my output inserters here. With 2 inserters outputting, I can only get input from 1. That's cool, that's fine, and I'm out of iron. These green machines, this could use up to 3.6 inserters if we're only providing with 2. So, yeah, it's a 1-to-3 ratio of iron to copper cable. So, this machine, well, it can only run at 2/3 speed, because that's the ratio of these two. So 2.4 and 1 out and 1 in. Yeah, okay, so this is okay. It's balanced with a star saying these guys are 2/3. If I were intent on minimizing the number of machines, I'd use 2 green machines for each copper, and I'd call it a day. It would reduce the number of machines, the number of inserters, but wouldn't change our output any. Okay, so now what do we got? Well, we're crunching stuff through. We are still backed up on all of our inputs, so I don't actually need to place any miners yet. This is interesting. I expected at this point to start draining that out. It could very well be that we're still draining buffers. That's fine. So what else do we need here? Iron chests. I should automate iron chests too. We'll put those early on, because they're super simple and I don't need many, and what I do need. So we're going to do 1 stack of iron chests. We've got the belt array done. We're going to do those manually. We've got those done. We have pipes done. Out here. I've got electronic drills mining. I've got electric mining drills automated. And I have assembly machines automated. I probably should automate stone furnaces. And I can do that right here. Okay. It's not clear how many more of these I will need, so just 1 stack. But just in case. And we do have that automated. We don't want to automate labs, but I do need some labs down there. Let's get those building. Call it 16 labs. That makes a nice 4x4 array. That's pretty fast. It's more than we need for this, but why not? And we can always pull up these elsewhere. These are automated as needed. I'm not going to automate radars, but I do need 3 of them. So at this point, we have the core of what we need here. And I'm going to need a little more space. That feels about right. And then I'm going to build science to the south. So science is going to be, I'm going to need 6 machines making green science, and 5 machines making red. Like that. And the science will come down, like so. Let's use ghosts. Oh, come on. So these guys here, ghosting. This is because I'm going to have some funky stuff over there to make things fit. That means I want my power here. This needs copper and gears. And this one needs other stuff, which we don't know yet because we haven't researched it. But I happen to know it's going to be something like that. So I'm going to have to arrange for a belt that split copper and gears. Easy enough. So if we have this guy coming in from the right, we need that. And then we need to pick up just the gears. And they'll pick up the gears on the right. And then we merge that with copper. So I happen to know that we're going to need both of these over on the left as well. So let's design this as one thing. And I can, let's see, what is my setup here? In terms of inserters, I need 1 inserter on each. So I could, yeah, what I'm going to do is bring down the gears and the green chips down like this. And then send them across and bring it down there. up here, like that. And now, to pick up the other side, we need more. Okay, so that means this is a little more complicated, which may impact how I want to build the rest of this. So if I bring in like that and like that, there, and there. Yeah, this is fine. Even kind of makes sense. And that covers. So now, I'm thinking in terms of making this line up. That's a good lineup. So let's get to it. Boom. Coming out from here, we're going to make a turn and head off this way for our science machines, which are real simple. Ah. And I am out. How can I be out? And lamps, like that. So I don't have lamps researched yet, but that's where I want to put them. And we also want to put them here. Get a little light in there. That's going to start the red science flowing. When it does, I want to research some things. Get lights going, get steel going, research green science so I can plan that out. Electronics, and fast inserters, and steel axe, yeah, why not? And then we'll see what else is next after we get that. So we now have a starter base laid out that's producing the gears and the electronic circuits. It's producing assemblers and miners. It has a belt array and a inserter array. It's producing red science. Question, do I want to put a lane balancer in here? No, I am not going to put a lane balancer in until I actually see a bona fide problem due to the lack of lane balancing. What are we doing in wave production now? Well, our science is starting to move like crazy. So we're running about 30 science per minute, which is what we calculated. Our early belt stuff can go away now, because we now are going to depend on our main belt array. We are not yet using our pipes. That will come. I do not believe we yet need to increase our mining. That's correct. All of our inputs are still saturated. So what are we actually getting in the way of output here? All of our iron is still being chewed up by the care machines. It's okay, that will continue until these guys have all filled their input buffers. Oh, and steel's about to finish. So once that kicks off, we're now going to fire up that... Yeah, there it goes. And this may start to draw more iron. So we're going to want to watch that. So what do we have researched? Automation, optics. Oh, we have optics. Okay, so optics. Iron plate, copper cable, and electronic circuits. So we got everything up here but copper cable. We could toss the optics in here. That's not a bad idea. Yeah. Doesn't need a whole lot of them. I do need a place to output them, though. Maybe. So it just needs both of those belts again. There. Now, Handy Hands has given us some. In fact, as long as we have materials, it will continue to build them for us. But if we can automate it and pick them up out of the automated area, that's better. So one thing I also don't have is a box that has the electronic circuits and the gears in it. So I'm going to move gears off to one side. That. And this I do need to have. Let me move this all one to the left. There. So we now know how to make green science. Let's go lay that out. Transport belts and inserters. And I think I'm going to use chutes at the end on these, just to really emphasize it is the end of the line. I can do the same thing here. So these need belts and inserters, so inserters and belts. I'm liking the sheets for this, but they do need to be limited to going onto one side. They need this guy. They also need iron. And they use that for something else later, so I'm not going to shoot it. So, how are we sitting here? These look good. So we have, inserter machine only needs to run half speed, the belt machine needs to run 1/4 speed. Yeah, we're good. And we're getting 30 per minute up there. So back to the beginning here, and what I'm seeing is we are still running sparse on the iron. Now that's because this only builds half of a belt, so we won't be able to upgrade that until we can get steel furnaces. So that's going to be a priority, is upgrading our furnaces. Those are here, so let's tack that onto the research. We want to shift over to solar energy soon. That takes a long time to research. There's other things to do first. I want automation 2 to increase the rate at which we do everything. Circuit networks to give you better control, and engines because we need built engines, and tool belt for tool belts. And let's get the better power in. We will need these power lines along with the solar energy for what we're doing. Accumulators we don't get until we have petroleum products. So I want to shift over to solar before that. I very much want to shift away from that. Now we did make some radars earlier. I didn't place them yet. Let's put them down. Let's see. Obviously one radar is going to go up here, and one's going to go up here. So I could just put the other one down kind of at the south middle of the power plant. Boom, boom. We're not worried about biters, but we do want to start exploring so that we can look out there and find out where our stuff is. We did identify as we were coming in that we want to head northeast, but I would like a good view of everything. See, we're already getting some steel out. Let's grab some of that. So at some point we'll end up making some medium electric poles. I'm going to put this here. We're going to kind of reserve this area in the middle for, random craft. So as we build out, we're going to look more and more around here. My hope is that at some point when I zoom all the way out on the map window, we will be able to see not quite the whole base. And InfiniZoom, okay, InfiniZoom already is showing us more than we can see on our radar. And that's a little cheaty, but hey, it is what it is. So I see copper and iron and coal. And that's the key things that we need for what we want to build. I'm also going to need to find stone. I think there's some out there somewhere. If necessary, I can train it in. Stone isn't key to have close. The other thing I'm looking for is petroleum, and there was supposed to be petroleum to the northeast. I'm wondering if I messed up and changed some of my settings between looking at it and starting it, but we'll see when I get up there. So we will be honestly exploring because I didn't see petroleum. So now, we will let some time pass, and all of these gear machines have filled up their internal buffers, so iron can now flow through. And we are at steady state building science. Well, just finished. What finished was advanced material processing, which is the better smelters. Yay! We will be using filter inserters, so there's that. Fast inserters and filter inserters are needed. These need fast inserters and circuits. I'm going to just run all this up. Like that. This should be one stack. We're not ready yet to start increasing stacks on these guys. What's the next thing? Fortunately, if I don't mass over these until I automate them, I'm good. So steel furnaces require steel plate and stone brick. And those are not yet on my bus. So that's stone and stone brick and steel, and they're going to want to be joined up with all of this stuff. Stone and stone brick I think I can put on half and half lines. So I added 2 more lines to this. Yeah. Okay, let's bring the stone and the brick in as a single line, and I'll run it under the copper, and then underneath this. The steel I'm going to run across the top, bring it down, and run it above the iron. No, wait. Let's run it below. Okay, we're going to run both below. Which means now we have a problem. Okay, there's steel, and there's my stone and stone brick. So as it turns out, for the steel furnaces, the steel plate and stone brick are all just right here. So I can literally drop this in place just like that. Steel plate and stone brick, and just keep those out the bottom. The downside of this is these guys require, in terms of basic inserters, it really wants 2 basic inserters getting the stone brick in. So these will run at a lower speed. That's okay because I think they're going to eat up most of the steel. Yeah. For now, this is going to be all the steel. What is our limiting factor here? Our limiting factor is how fast we are smelting here. So I look at this in terms of transport belts. My inputs are half a belt of each, half a belt of iron ore, and produce a tenth of a belt of steel. So in order to build more furnaces, I need to build more steel. So the steel is going to be top priority on these furnaces. And I'm going to build out from the middle so that we have kind of a balance there. That's going to be slow. I don't want to be running back and forth on that one. So next thing is going to be engines. Engines require steel and things made from iron. I'm thinking put them to the right of the science. So standard build for this is going to be... I'm not building steel. I'm not building a major engine factory. No. What we can do is go up here and put in the 2 components that we need for it, which are built from iron. That's going to be gear wheels and pipes. We've got gear wheels. All we need is pipes. Now may be time to move our pipe automation into place. We have pipe automation here. Oh. According to this, we need 10 pipe machines for 1 underground pipe machine if we wanted it to balance. And of course, we'd have to use all sorts of tricks to get 12 basic inserters worth of input. Yeah, okay, so that's the ratio we're going to use right there, 2 to 1. I don't want to build the pipes, though, so we're just going to grab one of these, and I'm going to toss a pipe machine up here and have it feed the pipes downward. I'm going to use a chute, just because. There's our pipes. And, oh wait a minute, I want the pipes, and I want a pipe gear line. But we happen to have gears over here. Can I do that? Oh, yes I can. Beautiful. So pipes and gears here, and I'll just toss in a couple engine machines here. And I believe we are ready to build. Yes. It's going to be slow because our engines are going to get stuff after these. But that's the priority we want, so that's good. So I'm going to put these on my bar. I have 36 of them, so 9 more. Gosh, with 4 more of those, I could have finished off that steel array. How about that? So we've now brought our steel up to 2/10 of a belt. We're going to continue to build the smelters. Occasional bit of steel is going to go over to making engines. And let's see, circuit networks are also built as their automation too. So let's start off by building some wires manually, and we'll put those on a hotbar. I don't need to look at 0 anymore, or 9, really. Let's move that stuff to 3, and this guy can be 4. Anything else here I want to see on 1, 2, 3, 4? I can really start ignoring these now. Most everything I want I can now pick up from this area. Okay, not going to automate, but I will put these on bar 4. Because I want these handy. I'm not sure when I'm going to start using them, but I will want them handy. Anything else I want to automate this new? Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. Okay, we're good. Electric energy distribution is going to be steel and copper. And there's also going to be a need for iron sticks. Iron sticks I can bring down here. In terms of inserters, this means a basic inserter in and 2 basic inserters out for these guys. And this means really what I want to do is put it down here like this. Or if I put it there, oh, that's much better. So, iron comes in. Sticks come out. And these are going to be the power guys. They need steel. Ooh. Steel's going to get stretched like that. There. Not yet. Almost. So, 2 steel plate every half second. These are not going to run at top speed. Fine. 1 stack each for now. So I'm seeing a lot of steel here. And I'm seeing that we are still running our furnace machines just as fast as we can. Okay, next research. I think my next goal is going to be trains. I want to get train things going so I can go start doing the outposts. And I'm headed for Farrell, and I'm headed for LTN. There's LTN. I'm not sure what happened to Farrell. Railway. Maybe Farrell isn't a separate research. Railway. Automated rail transportation. LTN. Oh, there we go. Rail signals gets me Farrell. So now the research is going to be headed for him. So I need logistics 2, and I need railway, and automated this, and rail signals, and then LTN. At this point, we have steel furnaces down for all of this, so these guys are no longer needed. Oh, except, of course, when I start making outposts, I'm going to need a great deal of those. Yeah, yay for the undo button. And I no longer need stone furnaces, I think. There. If we need any, I'll have some there. If we don't need any, I can ignore it. As mentioned earlier, I will not be doing a red belt array on this. Not yet. I may build a belt array to make red belts, but I won't be tacking onto this. Going to need engines when I start making locomotives. Let's build those up early. Same thing here. When I start making my outposts, I'm going to need a water smelting. And I may not be able to go electric smelters yet. Electric smelters make sense when you start doing moduling, or when you're laying out an array that will be modeled in the future. Is it my imagination, or have we not had any night times? I know I'm running a mod that gives you better light at night, so maybe I just didn't notice. Okay, so from here, I think now it's just a matter of watching. Okay, we can profitably place down more iron mines. Yay. still get some more. Handy Hands is doing its best, but I'm going to start depending more on pulling from the pre-builds. And let's put that 3. We're going to need a lot of those once we get out into the other areas. Same thing with here. In fact, it's probably time to just expand all of these to 3 stacks. And I forgot to turn these on. There we go. Okay, so we've increased our iron mining, and this should be back to a full belt. Well, pair of full belts. And our smelters are now capable of heating 2 full belts. Notice here that we weren't quite. We are now researching railway, yes. So if we were going to build an array for red belts, the red belt needs the yellow belt, underground needs the yellow underground, and the splitter needs the yellow splitter, and electronic circuits, and gear wheels. So, yeah, gear wheels all around. So basically it would be a lot of gears plus the yellow array. The railway itself will need to automate rails, which are stone, iron, and steel. And I will want to be able to make locomotives and cargo wagons. I think I may automate cargo wagons, but not locomotives. Yeah, because so cargo wagons are steel, iron, and gears. So we have steel down here, and gears and iron up here, so we need to bring it up. And the other one is stone, steel, and stick. So sticks here, we happen to have sticks, but we're going to need a lot of sticks, so... yeah, I am not sure if this is even going to work. Let's use the hopper for input and output. So this is going to be our rail. Oops. Oh, it finished while we were looking at it. Okay, so rail here. So we still need stone and steel. And we need some output. Just out of curiosity, these inserters, our output requires 2 of them. We can do that with a fast inserter, like that. We need an infinite number of rails, but I believe one machine is going to be fast enough. So stone and steel, we bring stone in here, like that. And steel up from here. Like that. So if we look at the true rate here, ingredients 1 per second on each one of these. Hoppers are actually overkill, but I kind of like the look. So the other thing I was automating would be the cargo wagons, which required iron, steel, and gears. So iron. Oh boy, I am using all of my iron right now. Haha. Because I increased all of that. Okay. Fine. There's the gears. So we need iron and steel. So 4 stacks would be enough for 5 trains, 4 cargo wagons each. That sounds like a good quantity to have on hand. 1-4 trains are kind of my favorite. I will need to configure Farrell to set the lamps. So the question is, how big do I want the blocks that Farrell leaves behind? If I have a train fitting each block, that's great, because it means that we can always just put intersections wherever, and we know that 1 block will do it. But that means that the trains are separated by a train length. Not a bad idea. If we make them smaller, it means the trains can follow more closely on each other's heels, but it does mean that when you leave an intersection, I need to assure that there is actually a block big enough to hold the entire train before I go back to my normal pattern. I may also be running various size trains around, so I guess I'll just set the block size to whatever Farrell's default is. I have decided not to run power, though, so that'll help. Wow, this requires a lot of iron. It's going to take a while for this to come to homeostasis. I probably shouldn't have increased my build quantities that much. Okay, gonna make myself 5 locomotives. Oh, and there's the research for the train signals and train stops, which I need to automate, and Farl and the Farl module. I will be building one Farl module so that I can take it out of the train, out of the locomotive, and use the locomotive for something else. I'm going to go ahead and build one cargo wagon manually. As the rail signals require iron plate and electronic circuits. Is there a place where we have that? Yes, right here. So we can just tack this right on the end. The other one is train stop, which is iron plate, steel plate, stick, and circuit. So sticks and steel plates. Sticks again. Okay, if I'm going to be going full LTN, I will need the stations, but they will be used when I make the supplier and requester stations. I'll do those in hand, so why not build the stations themselves in hand? So we can do train stops in hand as long as we have that material on us. We're good. So anything else I want to automate in this base? I think we're good for now. I should have a Farl module here. Yes, I do. I have some locomotives. And the track is being built slowly. I really need to have iron coming through for that. Okay, so if I'm going to be counting on handy hands to be building things for me, I do need to maintain my my quantities here. So that's got some raw materials for me. 20% of a stack of wagons is one wagon. Yay! So my Farl train actually Farl needs a place to put stuff to use. It also wants a place to put down things like wood and stone and coal that it picks up. Let me think about this. Okay, all in all, I think I'm going to prefer the 1-2 train for Farl, and I think the early stuff I'm going to do, maybe I'll stick with 1-2 for a while. I don't know. When I get to a mega base, I'm going to need more. And if I start building with smaller stuff, it means that if I want to repurpose any of my existing outposts to direct them to the mega base, I have to rework all of their rail. Realistically, though, the ore for the mega base is going to be on 3-8 trains. So I'm going to use 1-2 trains all over the place. Done. Committed. But that does mean that I want... Let's have 4 items. 4 cargo wagons. And 4 trains, let's do that. Make sure we always have enough engines. And how are we doing for rails? I think when we get to a full row of rails, we'll be ready to go. So what do I want to do? I want to go find iron ore and copper ore and stone. I want to drop LTN stations at there. I want to do the mining and LTN stations to receive the goods. I also want to have a depot somewhere that services all 3 of those, and then feeds the results into a series of smelters. And that will be LTN network number 1. Those will be 1-2 trains, so not too big. So while we're thinking here, I'm going to rough out what these stations are going to look like. I don't think I can make a logistic train stop yet. No, I can't. So I can't really do a great job on this, but I can start. Okay, so here's an normal train stop. LTN is going to have a little extra stuff in here. And there's the size of the train. And typically I like to have a block after the train that's big enough for a train. And a little bit of a gap. Actually, I can move this back here. There's enough of a gap from this that we're good. That way, if the output... Oh, this is LTN. I don't need to worry about this because we aren't going to be running a lot of trains. Well, we might be running multiple trains in. For TSM, I don't need to do it because I always only have 1 train going. LTN, I might have more than 1 train. So let's make a space for the train that was unloading to pull out so the next train can pull in even if there's nowhere to go. So if this goes out to a main line somewhere that's busy, I can wait here for it. And we're going to standardize on this being one of those. Our input, I'm going to standardize on having 1 train worth of parking here. Now, does Farrell put put this on the left or the right? Let's find out what Farrell does before I go much further. Oh, I'm going to need some coal. Ha ha ha. I have some, not a lot. Let's get some more. There's LTN for me. That is, I think, well, we need the fluid wagon when we get fluids going. So what's the next thing I want? Well, let's do the mini loaders. Oh, solar energy. I almost forgot. We do need solar energy because I don't want to be running wires out. So mini loaders and solar energy. I want a landfill I like at some point. We might as well do that research now. It's not too hideously expensive. It gets out of the way. I think our next thing here literally is going up the fluid handling area. So fluid handling to oil processing to sulfur and plastic. And that opens that out. So we're going to be doing the research to get the oil going pretty quick. And now we are automatically building logistic train stops out of the copious amounts of good stuff in my inventory. So question 1 was, what does Farrell do? That was fast. What did we just finish? Oh, mini loaders, okay. And he needs 2 wagons. So, first wagon is going to be, let's filter him so he always has room for 2 lines of those. Farrell will not be placing the chain signals, he will be placing those. I'm not going to be placing lights, I'm not going to be placing power. Actually. So, all I'm going to place with Farrell are signals and rails. That's it. And the second wagon will be whatever Farrell picks up. And you are a Farrell, you get the Farrell module. Okay, so, now the fun starts. Configuring Farrell. He's going to place signals, he will not place poles or concrete. I am going to have him... Until I figure out where I'm going, I can just do bulldozer. Bulldozing requires a Farrell jet, okay. Well, let's do this, why not? Another Farrell module. And where did it go? Oh, haven't. Whoops. Oh, I made a Farrell train, didn't I? No, I didn't. There we go. So now a Farrell jet. Oh, we have 2 stations, don't we? We want to go to that station. And back to manual, delete, and delete. So I need rails and rail signals, lots of them. I probably can't go yet. Oh, I can. Cool. No, let's wait for this whole thing to fill up. So, what does this look like? I'm going to call this X mine. So this is going to be a station you would find at a miner. Oh, that's right. I keep mixing up train supply manager and LTN. Okay, so At a typical mining station, we have some signals that we want. I'm going to say specifically that we are, this is network ID 1, so network ID 1 will be my OR network. And it is going to be maximum train length of 3, minimum train length of 3. This is probably implied by the network ID, but I may put different size trains on this network. Provide threshold. So if I have 4,000, I'm ready to provide. And that doesn't go there, that goes over here because this is the important one. Locked slots. Let's lock 2 slots, just in case we have trains that are doing weird things. So let's lock 4 slots. We may have all sorts of cross-ups in what kind of ore we're carrying. Our depots will have to clear things out if we can. Let's put that over here. What else do we want? These have no request. We're not worried about encoding positions of things. So this should be a provider. And to make that work, I'm going to need steel for this. And I don't want to use, okay, if I use these I have to put it up by 1. I can't compress it much. For now, yeah, we're gonna be a little slow loading, fine. Where do I wire that to? I need to go look up some Farrell stuff. I've done some Farrell stuff, I need to look up some LTN stuff, but I think we end up with something like this. These also need to be filter inserters, so we can be absolutely sure we are putting in exactly what the train wants. So this is going to be a little advanced. Yeah, I keep mixing up TSM and LTN. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to defer all of this until after we have an actual mine laid down. So we're not going to do LTN right at the moment. We will set up the LTN stop, like this. But I'm not going to have anything attached to it, so LTN is going to be a little confused. We have 3 kinds of LTN stops. We have the mine. We have a depot. This guy's going to be a depot. And this depot is going to handle trains with 1 engine, so the encoded position of every locomotive needs to be 1. So we're only a depot for guys with 1 train, so this is the 1.x depot. Like, let's call it the 1.1-2 depot. So this will handle 1 and cargo wagons in 2nd and 3rd position like that. In actuality, if I do provide 4,000, yeah, that's actually better. I'm not sure whether I need to connect this or not. This is the same thing, but it's going to be a requester. So request threshold of, when I get less than 4,000 on hand, I want to request another train. And it also needs a provide threshold here of something huge. This is X smelt. So we have several places to connect here. Let's take the rail signal out for the moment and just put it here so we see where it is. We have the train stop input, we have train stop output, and we have the train itself. This is the normal, I believe this is the normal connection for the train station. Like I said, I need to go look at LTN before we do that any further. Okay, so we have rail. I can grab all the rail. I can grab, no I can't. Let's go put the rail in. Anything else you want to do before we... Oh, configuring farm. Actually, I'm going to leave that for the next video. I'm going to pause here and go remind myself of how to use Farrell as opposed to TSM. I use LTN as opposed to TSM, because I remembered this was really, really cool, but I've forgotten how to do it. And we'll call that an episode.